I'm sure everyone probably saw the Snuggie. I mean, it's been used all over the place, right? But this is one of the best ones, and this reminded me of actually one other thing. Snuggie threw up their video. They made it look real silly. It was kind of a silly commercial that they'd put up. Everybody saw it. And then all of a sudden, these parodies and these mocks started just popping up and populated. And they all got hundreds of thousands of views, and they were really funny, right? But Snuggie wasn't being sleepy about how they were doing this marketing, because every time somebody searched for Snuggie, they had right next to it, you know, you only pay when somebody clicks on it. It's like the Google rule. They had a real ad, and it took you to this one site, and literally it's one page. You can only click into it, and you can only buy from it. I mean, there's nothing else there. But they sold Snuggies, and I thought that was pretty cool because, you know, it's kind of a silly product in the end. So entering the conversation organically, but write it officially. I mean, it's such an easy step to do for so many people, I think. So, yeah, being who you are. I mean, you know, let's celebrate our flaws and our follies, I suppose. Be thick-skinned. This is an old example, but I've never gotten tired of it again. Dove did the Evolution ad. Beautiful, well-produced, thoughtful piece, and then all of a sudden, these guys from Italy came out with this thing that was the complete opposite of it. And, you know, I remember they were calling us up, like, get that other video off. We're like, we can't do that. We don't own that other video. Somebody else does. We're a platform, right? And we told them just to go with it. And they listened to us, and all the videos just kept going and going and going. And all of a sudden, what their original intention was met and exceeded, and I thought that was really potent. It's a good example. It's an old, and we can watch both of them do it. As a matter of fact, at the bottom of every one of these slides, there is a URL for a corresponding video that really ties these things together. So if you get a chance, 5 minutes. You know, you don't get the time to go through all the videos. I loved this one, and there was a particular reason why I loved this one, and it was because, one, they did something that was great. It was phenomenal. In that it showed phenomena, right? It showed something unbelievable, and the brand was, you know, kind of stitched very casually and seamlessly, but, you know, in there. But the important thing was, it's in that green box to the right. You know, what they did is they had a series of other videos that kept it going. Once you got a taste of the first one, you're like, give me the next one. I want the monkey getting on the bus, and then I want the guy, you know, filling up his pants with helium, and then I want the car crashing in San Francisco, and, you know, they all had this really simple look to them. But when you add all these things up, there was a lot of views on these things. There was a lot of conversation about it, and I suspect most ad folks probably knew what was going on with this because it worked very well. So I like that, yeah. So build with the intent to deliver something phenomenal over and over and over and over again. So, you know, think about that. It doesn't have to be hard to build all these things, actually. So, competition. I mean, this is such a simple thing, but I think sometimes it gets lost in it. And it's not that, oh, let's go do a contest, but competition is the core of what so many of us personally and professionally do online. We're actually trying to get noticed. We're trying to get people to respond. We're trying to develop a language or a rapport with somebody. Competition does it so easy. And you know what? I mean, cheese rolling, wife carrying, fast clapping, you name it. There's many sites, staring contests. It doesn't really matter what it is. The simpler the better, to be honest, as long as everybody can kind of jump in there and fight for their right, you know? So there's an audience for it, for everything. It's kind of like when you go to Borders and you look at all the magazines that are there, like there's a magazine for everybody. And I mean, you can do these things so simple. And you know, one thing I want to underline here too about the things that I'm showing, most of the stuff you can pretty much do for free. I mean, these are the simple little things that you can just kind of turn on. Be addicted to love. Like I just watched this boil phenomena happen this year, and I mean, it was so great. And what I kind of pulled from it or extracted from it was that people want to share a great feeling. Like I wish I could just, you know, take what I saw and was inspired by with Project H and so forth earlier this morning and just give it to everybody outside of this wall immediately. Like I wanted to just take it and send it to them. And you know, that's one of the things that if you can figure out how to make people love something for even fleeting seconds, you can send that out to a lot of people so fast. And again, that goes back to what I was talking about with being able to send things, that common ground idea, sharing that. Be self-contained. We just heard an even better self-contained example, I think, in the the speech before with the spoon. But make content that can live on its own. It doesn't have to be explained later on. It can be in any context, anywhere that it is, and it's unto itself. It's sovereign, right? And I think that's great. I used the Airstream example because I also think that it's beautiful design as well, and then they've done something. And I think that that's great, though. So being self-contained is important. Low fidelity, high concept. It doesn't have to be crazy to be really impactful. Fred's in the industry, so that's not a typo. That's about friends. And you can use lots of people on YouTube to do lots of stuff for you because they're brilliant unto themselves. And a means to the end. Don't ever hesitate to grab something and go with it. It was funny. I saw Hope earlier this morning, and I was like, there it is. And I mean, I grabbed these in like an hour and threw these together. This is design at its finest right here, really. And the message it grew and grew and grew until it transcended its original purpose, which I thought was really hot. All these things is the final slide. Buoyancy. Hopefully this gives buoyancy to your message. And it doesn't matter what you're trying to do, if you're trying to sell shoes, or if you're trying to sell design theory, or you're trying to help the world. I think that all these things work together. And I featured the Ronaldinho video from Nike. It was the first video to ever hit 1 million views on YouTube, and I think it's got, 28 million views now. And they haven't done a damn thing for it. It's shelf life. They put it up there, they left it up there, and it's done it ever since. So if it can be self-contained, it's got some phenomena in it, it's beautiful, and people love it. They're going to send it around everywhere. I think ultimately you're going to get some buoyancy. So that's what I had. 6 minutes.